Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as digital art. And if you'd like to take a look at any of my stuff, you can certainly do so. I have an art Twitter, which is at Peppero Draws. That's Peppero like the candy. And you can find all my work there. If you enjoy like anime and the original characters, things like that, that's mostly where I post my stuff. So you can check that out. I play Anaka, who is a Dark Force user. She is a Togruta, who doesn't really talk about herself much. She's got sort of like a secretive past that she doesn't share. Yeah, she's she's been branded, I guess, as the grouchy kind of teenager of the group. But whether she just plays into that so that people will not poke further into her past is perhaps a good question. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's Anaka.
Awesome. Next, we'll hop over to Matt. Tell us a little bit about Jai and yourself.
Hey, hello. I'm Matt. I'm a content creator of various stripes. I play Jai, the sweet summer child, coming to terms with cultural things that he has learned through childhood, and also just being an adult and how much he hates that. It's been he's growing. It's a rough time, but he's still happy somewhere in there. Let's see. We're gonna figure out what he's gonna grow into this season, I think.
I think so. Awesome. Next, we'll hop on over to Hope. Tell us a little bit about Muxo and yourself.
Hi, I'm Hope Tracy. You can find me Hope Tracy71 on Twitter. And on Saito's channel on Monday nights for Tales of Rahi, where I play a wine aunt, wild magic sorcerer with same ambitions. They're good ones, trust me. Muxo, on the other hand, is a bit of a daredevil. She is a human mando from a huge farming family. Imagine if Ace Rimmer from Red Dwarf and Leslie Hall had 7 kids. She would be the middle child. She works very, very hard to not be invisible, including wearing a gold bodysuit underneath her hot pink armor. She's a lot of fun to play. Right now, she is distraught because we left someone behind who needs rescue, and there's been some trouble, some differences of opinion on loyalty in her crew, which she considers herself the captain of.
The ending of last season was certainly eventful with Zadu crashing on the planet.
Yes.
Speaking of, Par, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then if you would like to, you can tell us a little bit about your new character, or you can keep it a secret and save that for the reveal of them if you'd prefer.
Oh, hey guys. Hi. Par here, back again for this season. You may have thought you got rid of me, but still here, so, it's fine. What's my stick? Sorry. I'm boring. My new character, I can't tell you too much about it, to be honest. Somewhere far in the galaxy, far, far away, really deep space, there's another character out there. You might get to meet him tonight. And his story you might get to learn tonight. A bit of it, at least. But for right now, I don't really got anything. It's just question marks, I mean.
All right.
Who?
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm planning to. Yeah, I think we'll get to him tonight. I've got schemes I'm plotting to get us there. And then next we've got Nikki. If you're good to go, tell us a little bit about Ilsa and yourself.
Sorry, my everything is falling apart on my setup.
No worries. I felt bad as we were doing our intros and I saw the camera just slowly fall. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I know I'm supposed to answer a question. Sorry.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your character Ilsa.
I'm Nikki, and Ilsa is a character. I'm sorry, my brain is just not telling me what.
No worries. Things we usually talk about, Ilsa, the Imperial School, sort of dropout, cottage
Imperial
core stuff.
Dropout, who seems to really like cottage core and knowing way too much about Imperial life.
She got a lightsaber too.
Yeah, she's got a lightsaber now. She's a force. Last season she just discovered her force sensitivity and got a nice lightsaber from, I forgot the guy's name, but he had a bunch of them. So
yeah,
he wouldn't
Darth
miss it.
Jen.
Yeah, Darth Jen. He had like 20 of them, so he probably could have stood to lose a few more.
Yeah, it's fine. They've got plenty.
Yeah.
All right, and then with that, we'll jump in. Before we do, real quick, some of you may have noticed the viewer actions are a little bit different this season. There's no more D6s, but we do have some cool advantages, disadvantages, crits, and then assets or challenges that are available. Currently, since we converted things from last season that were still there to the new way we're doing things. Currently, Anaka has 1 advantage, Ilsa has 1 advantage, Jai has 2, Muxo has 1, and Par, you've got 1 as well. I also have an advantage, and then Ilsa and myself both have a crit available. So that's what's currently available for use. Feel free to use those as you would like. And we'll set the scene here. We'll say it's been maybe a day or 2 since you left Endor. You know, the immediate danger has passed, but you're still having to deal with the fact that Zadu's no longer with you. The hangar's probably been cleaned up a bit from the inexplicable crash that happened there. But aside from that, like, what's everybody's sort of feeling? What's the mood or the atmosphere in the ship?
Muxo has been making everyone miserable, insisting that we have to go back. Also, it's a little weird owning Locke now. She's a little jumpy about it, but like it's fine. It's fine. It's like a little cousin, right?
Yeah, Locke
probably wants to murder her.
Locke definitely just shows up behind you at random times. You turn around and they're just there blinking at you.
Does Locke call Muxo master, or is he not about that yet?
No, I think he does call Muxo master. As you are currently the official guardian of him.
She has promised him revenge murder, so there's that.
No.
So yeah, there's a whole lot of like finger tapping on her part, just impatient to like hear news that force has gotten bored with Endor, so we can go back.
Okay. Yeah, so far there's been 0 communication out of that sector.
It's not worrying at all. Sure, it's fine.
What about everybody else?
Jai has been absent. He's been nominally cleaning up the landing bay, fixing Ilsa's TIE Defender. Again. This time it wasn't his fault. So if anyone ever asks him about it, he just goes, well, I didn't do it this time. It has gotten that all resituated and is cleaning things up. Eventually, though, people will start to notice that his armor is slowly, like, his two shoulder plates are not painted anymore. But any changes that happen there, no one's ever around when it happens.
Okay. Is it just like raw, sort of dull Beskar, or is it like shiny chrome-like Beskar?
It is stripped to bare metal and just like sanded and prepared to be painted again. Just
Okay.
How was it painted before?
It was that.
Okay.
Gray, white, and red.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. And then Kieran has definitely been asking for more design help with the lightsaber. So, Jai, if you were given the option to design a double-bladed lightsaber that does the cool little swing down and lock into place thing, what else would you add to it? Wait. Like bonus features? Yeah. Like aside from just it being a double-bladed lightsaber.
Okay, so Jai, like when this question comes up, Jai just like looks at it and just goes, "Put it on my workbench. Come back tomorrow." And when she comes back, if she actually leaves it there, there are 4 things that have been added. And when Jai's going through them, he's also just like, I can take it all out. I can take it all out. It's not a problem. So what it is on one side, the hilt is a little bit longer, about 2 inches longer than it was on both sides. On the bottom. One of them has a one of those liquid cable dispensers with like a concealed grappling hook thing. So it's a grappling gun now. The other side has basically like a little thing that pops out that basically does a it's almost like an SOS signal. You activate it and it just like sends out a pulse so the ship can pick up trouble. Jai has one of these himself, but it tells his dads that he's in trouble, not you chumps.
Because
at this point,
I need to be picked up.
Jai firmly believes at this point that if anything gets bad enough that he has to push that button, most of us are dead. So,
I love that.
That's putting a positive spin on our relationships.
Look, it's been a long day. What are the other 2 things? Yeah. It is a quick release on the hinge, so that like part of the hinge just like flops, like detaches and launches over to the other side, so that you can break away into 2 lightsabers real quick without a problem. And it's a very, very, very small grenade. Like a very, very small grenade that's just like when he's explaining all this, he's like, now look, it's not my normal work. It won't like take out a Star Destroyer, which is what I aspire to with all of my bombs. But it's enough that you could like blow off a wall and get out of somewhere if like your lightsabers die or something, or distract somebody. Useful stuff.
So first of all, she gets really excited and like literally just sort of not quite like leap, but sort of the same kind of motion, just much more subdued as a leap, just bear hug to Jai, and is
that the moment that Anaka walks by?
That would be hilarious.
That depends. Is this the area where Muxo is not?
It's the hangar bay, so probably.
At this point, yes.
Sure. You know what? For comedic effect, why not? If Muxo's not there, then it would make sense. Yeah, sure. Anaka walks by.
Aside from the obvious.
Well, you said you were making everybody miserable trying to get back to where you wanted to go, so Anaka would just remove you from the equation and avoid you.
Yeah, she's personifying anxiety.
Yeah, so Naka would not be there.
I personally have driven people from the room just sitting in the corner before. So
no.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Naka would probably be avoiding that. Sure, for
Anxiety
comedic
is
effect,
rough.
she walks right on past that door.
Okay. So yeah, Tanaka, you see Kieran giving Jai a big old bear hug.
How rude do I want to be? And all Anaka does is look between the both of them, raise an eyebrow, and just keep walking. She disappears out of sight.
Jai does not know what to do with this situation.
Kieran does the classic sitcom thing of like, you know, when you realize that you've just had you know, like physical interaction and you weren't really thinking about it and someone walks in, so you quickly like move away and try to act like nothing happened.
Yep.
As Anaka disappears from view, as she like walks out of the space, you just hear her like whistling.
Yep. Kieran definitely turns back to that sort of almost military kind of tone, and you know, just the mock salutes and yeah, thank you, Jai. I appreciate your work on this lightsaber. That was very nice of you. I'm sure these tools will come in handy.
I was like, yeah, you're welcome. Definitely does not know how to handle this situation. This poor idiot boy.
And yeah, she picks it up and takes a few steps back, sort of into the larger, more clear part of the hangar where she's not going to hit anything, and activates it, and the two blades, it's in its hinged mode, so it's essentially like a giant regular lightsaber. And the blades come out, and they are sort of a golden yellow in the middle, with red tones towards the outer edges of them. Almost looks like a sunset. So it's a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, and a little bit of red in it. And she takes a few practice swings, changes it to, you know, the staff mode, and swings it around a little bit, and sort of nods and turns it off and goes about her business.
As she's leaving, Jai's just kind of like, you know, I bet with a quick little modification, we can make it so you could also use it, and just like picks up a pipe and just like holds its eyes like a tonfa thingy.
I love that. Kieran just gives you a smile and nods, and it's like, yeah, that might be the next project. I suppose I could have more than one lightsaber.
Or we can see what how Ilsa likes to fight and make one special for her.
Kieran seems to get excited by that prospect, and it's like, that's a really good idea. We could go next planet. We'll scavenge for materials. And yeah, Kieran kind of just waltzes off, pretty happy. Speaking of Ilsa, I have a question for you. So maybe 3 episodes back, I think it was. I think it was during the whole thing with Jannar Fisk. You picked up some plants on that planet for planting, and they should be pretty healthy and grown by now. I'm just curious, where on the ship did you put those?
Probably to replace the ones in her room that she destroyed.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. They turn out to be very hardy plants. So probably be able to withstand more stress and being tossed around than your last plants did.
Can she do like a cutting of them if they're growing nicely and put one on the table?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then I did have a note here that you rolled an 8 to find out if they were dangerous or not. in that episode. I made a note of that. So, could I get a life sciences roll from you to see if you've noticed anything peculiar about these plants as they've grown?
Just 1 minute.
No worries.
I'm using Roll20 on my phone, so it's a little hard.
Oh, no worries.
Let me try it sideways. See if I can see more.
I can also pull up your character sheet and hit the roll on that if you need me to.
Okay, I think I just had to turn my phone sideways and open the sheet in a separate window.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay, sorry, that's my son on his tablet. I don't know why he's not turning it off. Please let me
No
roll.
worries.
Okay, submit. I got
Alright,
13.
Okay. So yeah, you do notice that these plants do seem a little bit different than other plants that you've tried growing in pots on the ship. They definitely seem to take to the potted soil quite quickly. The growth rate is a little bit faster than probably what you expected, and that's about all you're really able to determine about, what type of plant it is, or what it's similar to, things like that. It seems relatively normal, but every once in a while, you could swear that there's like a little vine or something, that little shoot that grew off of it. You were pretty sure it was like on the right side of the pot, and now it's on the left side of the pot. You never really see it moving or anything, but you're pretty sure it rearranges itself every so often.
What will happen if I arranged it back?
Yeah, nothing happens when you do that.
Okay.
Though if you come back, some hours later, it might be in a different configuration again.
Okay, it's probably this battle of me arranging it back in the.
Okay. We'll come back to the plants later. Is there anything else that Ilsa's doing during this time?
Other than that, she has been making sure she's making all the meals every day, and putting, setting the table nice. Just kind of keeping more to herself, but making sure that the meals are done and everything is decorated. Staying away from her ship. And, she doesn't want to apologize to Jai again for having to fix it again.
Look, Jai feels like he owes you a freebie since he did almost blow yours up one time.
And I guess like spending time on her, whatever equivalent of a computer is.
Okay, that's fair. And then Anaka, aside from walking in on Kieran getting excited and giving Jai a hug, what are you up to?
Good question. What is Anak up to? You said it hasn't been very long at all since
Like a day or
losing
two.
Zadu, right? Yeah, okay. I would say if like hopes that Muxo is sort of making a nuisance of herself, then Anaka would probably try to be wherever she's not for the sake of her own peace and quiet. I'd say she's probably sticking to the corners and to her own quarters and things like that. She doesn't seem to be as sorry, Par, but she doesn't seem to be as affected with Zadu potentially, biting the dust as, for example, Muxo. You don't really see any emotional response from her in that kind of way, or really any acknowledgement that we're down a crew member. But yeah,
Okay.
she's just chilling, I think, for the most part.
All right. You definitely have Darth Hedzuska giving you some commentary during this time of chilling and just sort of vibing.
I assume so. What does he have to say?
Mostly just commentary about the rest of the crew and you know, obviously he doesn't seem very affected by Zadu potentially not being there because he views pretty much everybody on the ship as expendable. With Anaka
This
being
one does.
last simply because, you know, he's occupying a part of your head.
That is kind of important for him, I would assume.
Yeah. So mostly, you know, comments that are not exactly complimentary. You know, about Muxo, it's probably like, you know, she just needs to move on and rule the crew with an iron fist and then get the job done and things like that. And with Ilsa, I'll roll something. Okay, nope, he doesn't notice something. With Ilsa, it's mostly just like, why with the plants? What's up with the plants? He doesn't understand the plants. And then with Jai and Kieran, after the hug incident, Darth Hedzuska pretty much just keeps telling you, like, they're plotting, they're scheming to overthrow you. You know, Jai's going to end up shooting you in the back. He's a traitor. You need to kill him now.
Anaka does not entertain any of that in the slightest. Any comments directed towards Jai, she's like, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, she just doesn't entertain that at all.
Okay. Yeah, aside from that, it's mostly just constantly humming like the Imperial March, just in the back of your head.
I love that. I don't think Anaka would discourage that sort of thinking for like Kieran, for example, or Muxo or something like that. But she, you know, she doesn't act on any of that or you know, entertain much of it. It's just like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Stop being such a paranoid shit. Like it's fine.
Okay.
Or like more like a fuck around and find out kind of attitude. Like, well, they could try.
Okay.
Muxo is actually pretty easy to avoid. She's basically just living in the cockpit, listening for a signal, and holding her left arm, like it's in a sling. So she's useless. She's easy to avoid.
Okay.
But is everybody going to dinner?
Capably flying, huh?
Are people going to dinner?
Yes, but miserably.
Okay.
Muxo does say thank you and offer to help you, but she's awkward about it because like it's just the arm is just really stuck to her side. It's weird. So it's one-handed help.
Okay. Yeah, Kieran shows up for meals for sure. I'm assuming Jai would as well. And Anaka?
Yes, she does, because, you know, homie's got to eat. So
Yeah, Elsa's doing it like completely like it's a normal meal
Okay.
or meals. Like she basically is just going, other than what I said, she's doing like the meals are just completely normal.
Mhm.
Probably awkward
Okay.
for everybody, but family dinner isn't awkward.
That's true. Okay. Well then, after a couple of days of this type of atmosphere and activity and whatnot, where are you headed to?
Last session we said we were headed toward Tatooine, back to check in with Bevan.
Okay.
It really depends on what we're hearing from Endor.
Yeah, still haven't heard anything coming out of Endor yet.
Yeah, so that's not good. Like, I guess what Muxo would be listening for, which you're saying is not there, but just for story purposes,
Sure.
would be ships leaving for other duties, or just sort of like casual orders of like, well, I'm off to this planet for the next incursion or what have you, but they're not hearing that.
Yeah, no. There's been literally no comm traffic out of that sector. Nothing. Nothing rebellion. Nothing imperial.
Does Muxo know how long these things usually take for like an invasion to just sort of settle in?
Normally, a space battle like that should take like maybe a day.
And then you would hear stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can do a knowledge technology roll if you would like to see if you are able to sort of infer some things from this information.
Yeah. What happened? Oh. Something. Oh. I was on my NPC sheet, which doesn't have anything on it. I'm like, where did all my skills go? Knowledge technology. Oh. 15.
15. Yeah, you know enough about interstellar communications technology to know that you should probably be hearing something, coming out of there. The signals from ships, connecting to the what is it called in Star Wars? Holonet. If nothing else, pinging for GPS coordinate type stuff. But there's like nothing coming out of Endor. Out of that star system.
That's weird. We should go like sneak in and check it out.
Oh, we're going to Tatooine. We're going to check in with Bevan. That's the you agreed to the plan.
But it's weird. He's
Yes.
just going to send us back there.
Maybe.
Definitely.
But look, we don't have an ID that can get us past the blockade right now. I need time to rebuild one. The Imperial Mode is dead. We have to have the Imperial Duce.
How long?
I haven't even looked at our comm system yet. Imperial Duce is spelled Imperial Deuce, like the number 2, but it's also a very good Mendoe joke because that means Imperial trash, and I love it.
I love that.
Which again, that is the name of our ship pet that Ilsa has too, is Duce, which is also a very good joke. Which I would absolutely.
It's funny enough to warrant 2 uses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good joke. I haven't even looked at our relay system, Muxo. I've been rebuilding a tie again.
You say that like this is my fault.
No, I'm saying we're gonna find Zadu.
Can I help you?
Please, for the love of the Force, calm down.
Is this a discussion that's happening over food?
This is dinner table.
Okay.
What if he needs medical help?
He was raised in a forest with Wookiees.
He could be in a coma.
The Ewoks on that planet destroyed the Empire. They can help him. He probably speaks their language.
Will they?
I don't know. He doesn't look like a stormtrooper, so they probably won't just murder him.
I'm guessing everybody wants tea, and I'll just jump up and get the tea.
How long with help? How long with help?
Okay. Let's get to Tatooine. I'll do a quick run right when we land, see what parts we need. We can get it and go. You can go check in with Bevan and see what he has to say about the Imperials and give him the good news that we started a war. You like giving Bevan good news, right? And Jai is like desperately looking for anyone else at the table to take over this conversation. Now just like,
Kieran actually picks up on the cue and clears her throat and addresses Muxo and says, from what I understand, this Bevan fellow has a lot of connections and is coordinating more teams than just ours, right?
Yes.
oh my God, Kieran hasn't met Bevan. You have to introduce her to Bevan.
We avoided it because Jedi.
She's not a Jedi.
She didn't want to go. Yeah, but what if he doesn't send someone?
I'm just
Zato's
saying
just
that
there waiting.
perhaps Bevan will have another team that's better equipped or in a position to help better than us. Regrouping and seeing what resources are available might be our wisest course of action.
All right, but if he doesn't send someone else, we have to go.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Anaka, who is promptly putting food in her mouth, is like, well, we don't have to.
Jai kicks her under the table. Just like,
Anaka gives you just a pleasant smile. And on anybody else, this would just be a pleasant smile. But because it's Anaka, you know that this means if you kick her again, she will rip your arms off.
kick me again. See if you still have a foot.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Every
Basically.
time Muxo has to make an argument for this, she's actually had to like switch to eating with her left hand because her right hand is just not leaving her left bicep. It's odd. she's just eating, and every time she has to make an argument, she just grips her arm a little tighter and like raises a bite of food to her mouth with her left hand. She's usually right-handed.
Thing so that it's convenient for her.
This is beyond
Okay.
sweet. Oh my God.
She really is.
Well, so she's giving everybody tea instead of talking.
that's also
Tea
fair.
and cookies,
I'm
like
gonna
little
go
napkins on fancy plates.
Yep.
I'm gonna go prepare a dessert so I don't have to talk to you all because you're being awkward. Essentially.
Yeah, it's all like, and when she sets it out for people, it's all super elaborate. Like the more you're talking, the more she'll set up. I think there's at one point she starts like folding the napkins, and you all keep going.
When Muxo is done eating, because I assume this argument has gotten as far as it's going to go, she will actually pick up her dishes and bring them to whatever we do with them. I've never seen anybody wash dishes in Star Wars.
I haven't
And-
either, actually.
Kind of like because she's so anxious, she might actually grab someone else's plate, even if they're not done with it, just to like start clearing the table.
Jai like protests and then just like grabs a roll and shoves it in the mouth and goes, fine, we're done. And then gets up and goes back to the workshop.
That's hilarious. I was actually going to say Kira does something similar. Sans stuffing it in her face, but just like grabs a couple things off the plate as it's going away. Goes, thanks. Thank you.
Elsa's gonna jump up because she's been doing all of it, and you're like, I'll do it.
To be fair, Muxo was eating really slowly because she was doing a lot of talking and eating with her offhand. So
Yeah.
if you all hadn't cleared your plates by then, you just weren't doing your job at the table.
All right. Well, with that conversation and sort of a plan in place, yeah, it shouldn't take you more than another day to get to Tatooine. So in that 24-hour period, is there anything, just real briefly, is there anything that you wanted to do before you get to Tatooine? Anything important you had to take care of?
So Jai was mostly BSing about not being aware of how to fix the comm system, mostly just to like provide a reason to force us to land on Tatooine. So during those 24 hours, like probably at night, Jai wants to rig up a new transponder option.
All right. That's gonna be a use computer.
Woohoo! 32. That was a natural 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Whatever you want it to do, it can do. Within
So
reason.
this one is gonna be a really nice. So learning some things and having been inside the Imperial systems, this is a much stronger ID that, like, we all know how Star Wars sensors works. Unless we're like actually flying past a window, no one looks out the window to confirm what it is. So this is just like Jai had like skimmed some stuff off of the Imperial system and found like a Raider class ship. It's that like mini Star Destroyer thing from Battlefront 2, the new one. And just like grabbed all the information on it and just like shoved our information in place and is calling it the Imperial Deuce, spelled Deuce, because he just thinks that's funny. Gonna go with the naming scheme. And it is now, it's rigged up to, there's a command in the cockpit, there's a command on his data pad, and there is an actual like there's a button in the hall that anyone could just like slap and it'll switch the transponder over.
Okay. Awesome.
He'll tell everyone about it later after he convinces Muxo that he bought parts.
Speaking of that, Ilsa would give Jai money for the parts because she destroyed it. It's her fault. Dice's fault.
Right.
You do have 51,000 credits, so.
How many?
51.
That's how much it costs to fix?
No, that's how much we earned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, fixing it's probably not more than a few thousand.
Okay.
It's almost 13,000 each. No, it is. No, that's 3. Never mind. I'm dividing wrong. It's almost 13,000.
Okay, yeah, she's just going to pay for it. That's the dice should pay for it, really. Roll 20.
Yeah, those were some rough rolls. And then anything for Anaka for the rest of that 24-hour period?
Nothing of note. No, just regular stuff.
During that time, Jai will, if he like sees Anaka like slipping away from wherever Muxo is sitting, Jai will follow and just be like pop up next to her shoulder and just be like, "Do you want one of your lightsabers to be fancy? Because I know how to do that now." Apparently.
Why does that have the same energy as that one TikTok audio that's like, "Do you want to form an alliance with me?"
I don't know. I am too old for TikTok. I am an old man whose bones are turning to dust. But I'm gonna look that one up because I think I love it.
It's from The Office. That's when Dwight's trying to form an alliance with Jim for something. I can't remember what was going on.
Doesn't matter. It's Dwight.
Oh, it's absolutely that energy because like Jai's just like cannot lose best friend status.
So sorry, I was thinking about The Office. So what was it that Jai asked?
If you want him to make your lightsaber fancy in any way, because apparently he knows how to do that.
Anaka would decline. She doesn't need any upgrades right now. I think she would just kind of decline and then stand there looking at you.
Eventually, Jai would just go like, "Okay, if you need them, let me know," and like wander off.
Okay.
And then she would just go on her way.
Love that. All right. Karen spends the day in the hangar cargo bay, doing essentially lightsaber katas that she's modified to go from dual bladed or staff lightsaber to dual lightsabers, like transition in the middle of it. So she's practicing essentially. All right. So, with all of that established, at the end of that next day, you are coming up on Tatooine. I presume you want to land and go to Mos Eisley?
Yes.
All right. Just for kicks and giggles, could I get a pilot check from Muxo?
Sure. Yes. Oh damn! That's also an
Nice.
F20. That's like why? Hey everyone, come look! That's unnecessarily good.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to do special about this landing?
Oh boy, like this old bucket? I mean, which way are its thrusters? Like, I don't even know how this thing flies. Oh yeah, it's basically a truck.
Yeah. It's like a Millennium Falcon pickup truck.
I'm gonna find somewhere unnecessarily narrow to back into.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what you do with a big old truck.
Yeah,
and do it really rapidly.
There's an open hangar that's or landing bay or whatever that's technically for like a size designation lower than your ship, but like there's just enough room for it to fit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like watching somebody like flawlessly parallel park with barely hitting the brake kind of a thing.
I used to do this when I had a Durango. Like I would pull into spaces that I probably shouldn't have, but it was fine. I know what I'm doing. Also the power is there, so that helps. Yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Okay. Then yeah, you managed to make that landing with zero issues whatsoever. Yeah, are people going directly over to find Bevan? Do you have other plans on the planet? What's everybody doing now that you're planet side?
Muxa will say to Kieran, like, I mean, I guess you're one of us now. You should probably go meet Bevan.
Yeah, Kira just sort of nods.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a weirdly direct look too, like for no reason.
She grabs her vest and clips the new lightsaber to her belt and follows you.
Yep. Ilsa? Anaka, you coming?
Ilsa's going.
Mm-hmm.
Anaka's also going, just for the fact that she likes to tell Bevan exactly every single time why she's sick and tired of being here. She's like, look, you called me in to do this job with these people, and I'm here and I'm doing it, and I just want you to acknowledge that I'm here and doing it.
That's excellent. Jai?
I love that.
No, Jai is going to go shopping for parts.
You're not coming with?
No, I trust y'all to talk to Uncle. That's fine.
All right.
Look,
right.
you want to get back in the game. I'm going to get our parts while y'all go talk to him and get information. This is just efficiency.
All right. Well then, while Jai's shopping for parts, and the rest of the crew is heading over towards Bevan.
Muxa has put on her normal I'm showing off swagger, because that's how she does when she's in front of not her crew.
Okay.
Is her arm still
Fair enough.
Injured?
Her arm is not actually injured. If you check it out medically, there's nothing wrong with it.
I was gonna say you've got enough BACTA on the ship and appropriate medical tools that should be healed by now.
No, I'm doing the RP thing. Muxo
Okay.
hasn't been injured in several sessions.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
This
I
is
didn't
this is the
remember
thing
if
I
he
told you
getting like
about.
shot or something.
No, no.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
thing.
sorry, I completely spaced that. I know what you're talking about now. Yes, gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, while you're all headed that way, camera's gonna pan to a different part of Tatooine. Par, where uh, Moss Isley would be the most likely place for you to start looking for this crew. Um, whereabouts in the city would you be in relation to like the space dock and the cantina?
I think my character really only knew to come here. And that's about it. That's kind of the starting point. So it's kind of just wandering around,
Okay.
looking.
Could I get a perception check from you then?
Perception depends. That is not by much.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, it was kind of hard to miss given the nat 20 and the flamboyant piloting. You see a ship that matches the description of the what was it called? My character sheet's in the way. The Similan Sonar. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. It looks like the ship that you're looking for. Just zoom down out of orbit and just land in this very tight parking spot. And that also kind of matches the attitude description that you've been given of the group.
Okay. Yeah. Make my way over there.
All right. And if you would like, you could be approaching the landing bay or the docking bay right at about the same time that everyone is exiting it. So your paths would cross.
I will say that my character's presence is kind of untamed, as he probably never learned to hide it.
Thank you!
If you catch my drift. I don't know why I spoke so codedly there.
Okay, so what you think, like Anaka, Ilsa, and Kieran would probably be able to sort of sense them immediately?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Also, thanks so much, Michael, for that gifted sub. And then Hope, who would you like to give an advantage to?
To Matt.
Okay.
My character's being obnoxious.
Oh, this is fun, but thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yeah, Anaka and Ilsa, you can sense a presence.
Thank you!
Hey, thanks for the more gifted subs. Thank you so much. So, Matt, and then just Dorky Teacher. If you're also here, you can pick anyone you would like to give an advantage to. And then yeah, Anaka and Ilsa, you can sense a presence in the Force, and it's coming from someone not very far away from you.
Is there a flavor to this presence?
How would you just describe the flavor part?
You know, if it could be a flavor, it'd feel sort of wild. More, maybe a bit more animalistic than you might expect. I'd say.
Okay. Is it a presence that would be more worrying to her, I suppose, is a better question. Like, is this a prepare to battle kind of presence, or is it more of a docile kind of presence?
It's just, it's more docile right now. It's just kind of
Okay.
there.
I'd say Anaka would respond by placing her hand on the hilt of her lightsaber, but not drawing it.
Okay.
Something you missed?
No, not at all.
That would be Muso asking
Oh, sorry.
Anaka if she noticed.
I
If
just-
Muso noticed Anaka doing that, it would be like, oh, Force user is noticing something that I have not noticed. Of course, I want to know what it is.
Okay. I thought you were asking because I just typed a whole bunch and I forgot to mute my microphone first.
I wasn't tuned into that. So, is there something you missed, Raven?
No, there's not. Other than I forgot to mute my microphone before typing on my very loud keyboard.
Oh, Anaka. Something you missed?
Anaka would probably be looking in the general direction of where she senses the presence coming from, and just like very pointedly looking for whoever that might belong to. But all she says in response is, I sense another presence here.
Okay. Musa will reach down to her blaster pistol and just have it ready.
Okay. Par, your character's walking up and you see a bunch of Mandos and, someone in, black robes and whatnot, and they kind of fit the description of what you're looking for, and they're reaching for weapons. What do you do?
I think I will. I'm so curious and excited that this is happening. So I think I will greet them.
Okay. Could you describe what you look like? What type of person is greeting the group here?
Or standing at a meter and like a quarter is a Ewok with Sith yellow eyes, dressed in
You
a
did it. Oh,
dark
you
green
bastard.
robe. With noticeably no weapons, but he's got sort of the Sith yellow eyes and sort of the how can I describe it? For some reason, some of them get the sort of black aura around the eyes. So, yeah, little furry buddy, grinning
Little furry buddy.
massively, grinning truly massively. Like it splits his face in a way that's uncomfortable to look at, and he just looks so excited.
Fantastic. Is it kind of like Darth Maul's eyes, where it's got like the darker parts around the edge?
Yeah, because it looks like it's like it looks like the fur around his eyes is actually like warped
Love that.
to be
Okay,
darker.
cool. Yeah, Kieran instinctively reaches for her lightsaber as well, but it kind of stops herself, almost like a reflex or a muscle memory type thing, and then you realize what you're doing and stop.
Muxo will say, "See something interesting?"
I see something wonderful.
I love the voice already.
All of you.
Do we know you?
I feel like Anaka would answer that really uncomfortable smile with one that mirrors, like the way that she just stares and smiles, and it's clearly not like a nice smile. The way she's done before, I feel like she would answer with that. Her hand is still very decidedly on her the hilt of her lightsaber as well.
Darth Hazutska in your head there starts ranting about how it's the ghost of one of his rivals that's come back, and is basically describing a Sith demon, and tells you to kill it.
Anaka in her head is like trying desperately to get Hatsuska to shut up. Just stop making noise.
Do we know you?
Yeah,
No, but Grakus knows that you're Mandalorians.
Yes,
Grakus is here on a mission of knowledge.
We're literally standing here in Mandalorian armor. What mission?
That does not bother Grakus.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for you. I want to know more. Your culture.
There's nothing to know.
Has Jai already split off?
I think at this point you're all exiting kind of at the same time before going your separate ways. So yeah, Jai, you're there too, seeing this.
Jai is speechless with delight. Like he's just like barely holding himself back, but eventually he's just gonna just jog up and just like start walking around Grakus and just be like, "Oh my god!" And just, like looks down and I'm just like, "Are you real?" And like reaches out a finger to like poke him.
As you do that, Anaka, who is still smiling, says, "Careful, Jai. It might bite."
It does look like it'll bite.
Jai like just stops and just like looks and just goes like, "You want to learn about Mandos, right?"
Absolutely. That's why I'm here.
Okay, rule 1. You don't bite a fellow Mando. And then he like pokes him.
Grakus is not a Mando. Also,
That's a fair
it would be
point.
fun.
Have you ever used a jetpack before?
No. But I find it very curious.
Grakus, you and me, we're gonna have a fun time.
I think at this point, Muso is going to lead the rest of us off. Leave Jai to this strange being.
Kieran's definitely trailing like behind, like just sort of looking back frequently, making sure that this person's not, gonna maul Jai the moment that they're gone.
I won't be offended if you'd like to stay.
No, Judge's like, no, go on. See if Utini has a small jetpack we can get.
Okay.
Grakus.
Kieran just sort of looks.
Jetpack.
Kieran just sort of has this look like. Utini is who?
Just you wait. What a delight.
Okay, sure.
I'm Evan's friends.
Yeah, and Kieran follows you along.
Great.
All right. Jai, is there anything in particular that you would like to say to Grakus, or Grakus, anything in particular you'd like to say to Jai while everybody else is gone during this time?
Yeah. Grakus is kind of going to look watch the others leave and turn to Jai. Be like, you know, you're ruder than he said you'd be.
Ooh.
Your friend.
Jai just like thinks for a second, just goes like, oh. Yeah, you know, it's been a rough couple days. I'm sorry, man. Hey, tell you what, I have to go buy some parts. Why don't you come with me? Ask me whatever questions you want about Mandalorians.
Breakus, you know, that uncomfortably large smile happens only when he's truly excited. And so it returns.
Oh no.
You know, it's quite unsettling. I wish I could paint the clearer picture of how unsettling the smile is. But
I've got a pretty good picture and I don't like it.
You could, you know, perhaps being a Sith has warped how his facial features look a bit, but let's just say that he looks at you for maybe uncomfortably long and then launches into a question about every aspect about being a Mandalorian, from like birth till death.
Jai will answer as best he can. When he doesn't have an answer, he flips back and forth between like bullshitting something that sounds appropriate based on what he's observed and just being like, I have no idea, but I know who to ask. And it's like jotting notes down on his data pad to just be like, ask Dad, ask Uncle Midge, ask Bevan, crossed out, ask Dad, ask Dad.
Okay. Could I get a persuasion roll from Jai? This is basically going to be to see how accurate your BSing ends up being.
Perfect. Please be bad. It's a 6. It's awful.
Yeah, like those parts that you actually know about are all fine. But the parts where you're just like, I think it might maybe be this, sort of, because I saw one Mandalorian interact with someone one time, not involving me, and so I'm going to base my entire assumption on that one interaction. That type of thing. So it's horribly inaccurate.
Love it.
All right. Well, we will leave Grakus and Jai to have that conversation then while you're shopping. We'll hop back over to the cantina where it is full as always. Music very different from what is playing right now. On the stream is playing it. It's something light and jazzy. Do you immediately go to that side room that Bevan's normally in, or do you go to the bar first and ask where Bevan is?
For formality's sake, we ask.
Okay.
But Luke's is in a hurry.
The bartender, unfortunately, does not seem to be in a hurry. He's taking his time. He's got... you're probably not quite sure what species of alien that this bartender is, but he's got like 4 arms, and is using 3 of them to very carefully clean this cup or glass, and the 4th one is scratching the back of his head, and just taking his time, listens to your question and goes, right, you're looking for a Kevin?
Uso spreads her feet out, puts her hands on her hip, says, I know you heard me.
Okay, well, I don't know any Kevin. Could it be under a different name? Did you have a reservation? This is definitely a different bartender than who you've normally seen in here.
She'll drop some credits on the bar. And it's a very like abruptly dropping her hands from her hips, grudgingly reaching into her belt pouch, and just sort of like is like with that gesture of fine, this is the way we're doing this. And then
he genuinely looks confused at the credits on the bar, sets down the now clean cup and pours something into it and hands it to you and takes the credits and goes, "Oh, Bevan. Oh, okay. It's very loud in here. I'm sorry. The music and everything. I misunderstood. Bevan. Yes. I believe he's renting out the back room, which is a different room than where you've normally gone to." And he sort of points with two thumbs on the same side, two right thumbs,
okay.
at the back door to the establishment. So it's kind of behind the bar. The bar is like in the middle. It's like a big circle. So it's not like you're going behind the counter or anything to get there. But it is.
I'm assuming there's a straw. There's a fancy straw though, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a new crazy straw with lights and laser shows and stuff that you don't currently have.
Oh yeah. On seeing that, her mood actually does lighten a little bit, and she just takes a drink out of the drink from under her helmet before she like looks over at the door that she has not gone through yet, and appreciates that she did actually have to stop and have this interaction before she abruptly walks off.
As soon as the bartender had motioned with their thumbs, Anaka already left.
Yeah.
Kieran sort of does the should I stay or should I go dilemma, sort of dance for a second, and then just quickly follows Anaka.
This is the equivalent of getting a juice box for Muxo.
Yeah. How does Ilsa react to this interaction, this whole conversation?
She's just gonna like watch it and shake her head, then follow.
All right. Well then, Anaka, since you're taking the lead on this, you get to the back door first, and it's pretty unremarkable. It's like every other door in Tatooine. It's metal. It slides to the side, and it has a little control panel. It doesn't look like it's currently locked. Do you knock first, or just open the door, or how do you approach it?
She may be moody, but she's not rude. Of course she knocks on the door. And then she walks in.
Okay, knock and then open the door. Got it.
Yeah. Obviously, you have to give somebody at least a second's worth of notice before you just open the door.
Okay. Could I get a perception roll from you?
Sure.
Or use the force, I suppose, if you're using your force perception.
Alrighty, let's see what we've got.
Whichever one you'd prefer to use.
Well, my perception is 8, and my use the force is 18, so.
And then, okay, 20. Do you use this before you open the door or after?
I'd say, given that she was already on alert, having sensed a presence before, I'd say before.
Okay. You sense a presence on the other side, like immediately on the other side of the door.
Like, on the other side of the door, as in, I'm gonna hit them with the door?
Oh no, the door will just sort of slide into the wall, so like you don't have to worry about hitting them with the door.
That's unfortunate. She was gonna do it anyway.
Oh my god, but they are like directly on the other side of the door.
Okay, I'd say then instead of like sliding the door and immediately going in, if she feels that presence, she'll stay where she is and slide open the door immediately after knocking.
Okay. Curiously, you don't immediately see anyone standing there. However, if you take a moment to glance down, Uchini's standing there with his back to the door. Kieran and Ilsa, and then eventually Muxo, you can all see into the room, and it's a much larger room, and there are like tactical command like board things, like maps with I'm struggling to describe it, but if you remember like the rebel base on Hoth or on Yavin when they're fighting the Death Star and everything, they had those sort of like transparent boards with maps and stuff, and they like used grease pens or something equivalent like that. It's a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It looks like a command and control room almost.
Excellent. Building on that lecture that Muso got last time.
Yeah.
Excellent. Loved it.
Bevan's got his helmet off and is currently like poring over a tactical display. So that's what you all see. Uchini does slowly turn around and look up at you, Anaka, and go, "Oh, it's you."
Every time I hear their voice. God,
It's
I
so
love
much
it
fun
too.
giving a Jawa a ridiculously deep voice.
Affectionately nicknamed the Corpse Jawa.
Yep.
Makes me smile every time. And mainly because I keep forgetting and I never remember to expect it. And then it happens and I'm like, oh, right.
Love that. Yeah, he just turns around, looks up and goes, "Oh, it's you. Yeah, come on in."
In response, Anaka's just like, yeah, nice to see you too, Teeny. Just
He just
walks
nods
around him.
and sidesteps a little bit so he's not directly in the doorway, and just crosses his arms and leans against the wall.
As she's walking past, she just kind of like offhand comments. She just says like, you should be careful standing in front of doors, especially with your vertical challenge. Someone might not see you and accidentally kick you.
So, Utini, still has the helmet on and everything, full Mando armor, and just sort of looks up at you for a moment. There's a pause, and just says, "If you think you could do that, you're welcome to test that assumption at your earliest convenience."
Oh, now see, I didn't say myself. Clearly, I have the good sense to be able to navigate this interesting field here. However, if it were someone else, they might, I don't know, stub their toes on your Beskar or something. It's just, it's a hazard. You should really look into being more careful.
Utini looks over at Bevan and just says, "You sure you're attached to this one?" And Bevan waves his hands at both of you and goes, "Children, play nice." And waves you in. Says, "I can make assumptions as to why you're here, but why are you here?"
Are we all
it's
there,
not like yeah, it's not like in an accusatory way. It's just sort of a like, I want to make sure that you're here for the same reasons that I think you're here.
So, great news. Apparently, Ilsa's Uncle Pell is going to be so pissed. So that worked out. Bad news. We lost Sadu. We need to go back.
When you say you lost Zadu, like you misplaced him? Or he's dead? What do you mean?
He might not be dead. We have to go back. He crashed.
As in a spaceship crash?
Yes. Into Endor.
That is unfortunate. Well, I've got some news from my operatives in that sector. I did hear about what you did. Good job. for a while there that worked. You brought Pell into the sector actually, and Dala and he were duking it out for a while.
Really quietly.
Yeah, you noticed that too, huh?
I was listening for a signal from Zadu.
Well, I don't think you'll get much of any kind of signal coming out of there because we're still trying to confirm who it was, but a third party came into the sector. We got just a short transmission before all communication stopped, but it looks like there's a third force that came in and mopped up most of Pell's fleet and some of Dala's, and last I heard, Dala kind of got absorbed into this faction. But whoever they are, they've got a lot of firepower, and they've somehow stopped any communication from coming in or out of that sector.
You think they made a base there?
Would be my assumption.
So how are we getting back?
Well, I have pretty much written off my operatives there as KIA, but if you're determined to go back, well, there's not a whole lot I can do to help, other than tell you what I know if you have questions. We're trying to figure out how to deal with this new threat now.
What do you know about the threat? What do you know what's causing the silence? Is it an order? Is it a machine?
He just sort of shrugs and says, I know about as much as you do on that. This is the only thing that we got. And he pulls up, it's like a hologram recording. It's just a short little clip, and you see a bunch of capital ships. Some of them are Star Destroyers, but some of them are look a little bit different. They don't really fit any ship design that you've seen before, and they are all instead of like the normal Star Destroyer where they're like silver or almost a white color. These are matte black, so that's really hard to distinguish them from space behind them. And there's a strange almost like a whirring sound, like a mechanical whirring kind of noise that you hear on the line, and then the transmission abruptly cuts off. You also see them like firing on all the other ships right as it cuts out too. It's like, that's all the intel I've got.
So you don't know anything about the condition of them itself?
He just sort of points at the screen and shrugs.
Yeah, and Muso just nods and like, I have to say that. I want to emphasize that her body language is not afraid. It's just baffled as to like it. Those are two distinct emotions. She will never appear afraid. She also doesn't want to back down from this. Do either of the other three characters have something to say to this? That will give Muxo a moment to think.
Kieran's not saying anything.
Ilsa, can she look around at all of the stuff that's written and things?
Sure. There's anything in particular.
Just like because you said it's set up, like the stuff was on the boards written in grease pen or whatever the equivalent is.
Yeah, it's mostly like where other Mando squads are, so teams not terribly dissimilar from your own, like where they are in the galaxy and like what missions they're working on. It's all stuff that's fairly similar to your own. Like one group is tasked with recovering as much Beskar as possible, and another is taking out Imperial supply depots and things like that.
What does it say for our group?
The location up until now was unknown, but the task that's on yours is essentially causing division between Imperial Remnant factions, specifically Dala and Pel, though it seems like that's not much of a problem now.
And can I tell which ones are the missing teams?
Yeah, there's another little blip sort of next to your information with a couple of names. It's like a 2-person team in one spacecraft. It's scouts, essentially.
Okay. Well, that's all I'm going to be doing is trying to see what else I can learn about this. And I just did.
Musa will abruptly remember her manners, turn to Kieran and say, Kieran, this is Bevan. Bevan, this is Kieran. Kieran was a bounty, and now she's a member of the crew.
Yeah, Kieran gives Bevan a nod and extends her hand. Bevan takes her hand and shakes it, but notices the lightsaber on her belt and raises an eyebrow and looks at you, Muxo. Sort of a questioning glance.
They like her, I guess, so we're keeping her? And she'll sort of gesture to Ilsa in that kind of direction.
Muxo says we're gonna keep her, and Anaka makes the sound of whatever domesticated animal is most common in this universe.
It's probably something like a dog, yeah.
Yeah, so then she would just very low under her breath bark a couple times, as if Muxo is implying that she is now their domestic pet.
Oh my goodness.
So, new plan. And at this, she'll keep Bevan in her line of sight, but she'll turn to the rest of them and be like, I guess we need to do some reconnaissance. And while we're there, maybe one of us, pointing to herself, might be able to sneak poo down there. See what we can find out.
Kira just sort of nods and says, might be good to, yeah, I think stealth is going to be the best approach. And she looks back at Bevan and goes, yeah, I'm not sure who it is that likes me, because I'm not sure it's anyone in this room, but I'm not a Jedi anymore, and just looking to be helpful.
I didn't say I didn't like you.
Kieran looks at Ilsa and she's like, oh no, that wasn't about you, sorry. She just sort of shoots a glance at Anaka and Muxo. And says,
I see.
I'm not a Jedi anymore. So just looking for something to do, and sounds like your lot and I have similar goals where the Empire is concerned. That seems to be enough for Bevan. He just sort of grunts and nods and lets go of her hand. And then kind of smirks at Anaka and again says, play nice.
Anaka gives a shrug, but it's just the slight lifting of one of her shoulders, and she drops it back into place.
He looks back at Kieran and goes, "That's about as good as you're gonna get, kid. Welcome to the team."
And at that, Muso will mutter in Kieran's direction, I never said I didn't like you. I just don't particularly like you. It's not complicated.
Kieran doesn't say anything, but what's going through her head right now is, "Wow."
Like,
So yeah, Bevan does offer you one thing that might help, and that is essentially a paint job for your ship.
and his approval of Muxo's plan, at which point he gets a brilliant smile from her.
Okay.
Anaka steps forward, I think, with her hand raised, and not like a, hey teacher, I'm asking a question, but just like kind of shoulder length as like a stop motion. So she stepped forward and she says, Bevan literally just got finished telling us that he's written off all of his men in this sector as killed. And you still insist on going back for, as far as we know, a dead man. Seems a little risky for no reason.
But what if he's alive and he needs us?
I'm sure there are people on the planet who can help him.
We can't just forget about him.
I'm not saying that you should forget about him. I'm just saying that this is not the time to go back for him.
You literally just get like this soft little, I heard what you said, smile. And we'll nod. We're gonna do some reconnaissance.
You're putting us in a line of danger that we don't need to be in, Muxo. This is not what I came here for.
What did you come here for?
I came here because Bevan asked me to join this team and help out with a mission. This is not a part of that mission.
He doesn't have a plan for us right now. We've accomplished what he set us to do.
Right, but that does not mean that you have the authority to put us in a position where now we're going off on our own mission that, like I said, puts us in a line of danger that we don't need to be in. Zadu is dead. We watched it happen.
We're not beholden to Bevan to give us direction at every point.
And I'm not beholden to you to give me direction either, Muxo. I won't be going on this suicide trip that you so insist on.
Oh. Well then.
I think we should continue to work. And once everything has cleared up, then it would make more sense to go back and to find whatever scraps you think you might find. But until then, it is too dangerous, and there's no point.
Kieran chimes in at that point, and kind of backs Anaka up a little bit on that, and just says, you know, as much as I would really like to find Zadu was very kind to me when I was going through a lot. That was a lot of ships. And if we're not hearing anything coming out of that sector, there's probably still a lot of ships there. I don't think we're going to be able to get to Endor for a while. Maybe we could fly close by and send out a probe. I think that'd probably be the best course of action for now.
That was literally what I was saying.
Do you want to just send a probe, or did you want to fly into the system itself?
Not the whole ship. I wasn't proposing putting anybody in danger but myself. But I think as a ship that we could gain information by being fairly close to the system.
If you put yourself in danger, who will lead the ship?
Any of you, you're perfectly capable. It's fine.
I thought you were the captain.
Nikki, ow. How dare you?
Bevan, this whole time is meanwhile watching all of you with just standing there with his arms crossed, like a parent watching their children trying to choose who's like team captain on a sports team, like just mildly amused, and is just waiting to see what you do.
I think Anaka would glance in Bevan's direction and just very softly say, "Oh, Bevan, please, with your condescension."
He gives you a laugh, like a genuine chuckle, which doesn't really happen that often for Bevan. And he gets this sort of not quite a sheepish smile, but as close to it as you can get when you're, a badass. And you just exude that from your very essence. But something like that is like, yeah, I keep forgetting you can tell what I'm feeling. Your little mind tricks.
That's something very dangerous to forget. And there's no malice in the words. She's kind of playing off that smug energy of his. It's you can tell that she's still very against what's happening right now, but there's kind of like that banter kind of feel to it. Just like you should probably not forget something so vital.
Yeah, that's great. He just chuckles and nods, and says, "Look, I don't know which one of you's the captain of your ship or not. Sounds like Muxo's been doing a pretty good job of the planning, but if you're gonna do something, you all need to be on the same page. So I'd start there, and then if you want to send out a scouting mission, like I said, I've got some special paint that we can put on a ship that will it won't keep you from being detected necessarily, but it'll make it harder to see you, both on
Naka
sensors
scoffs.
and visually.
Naka just scoffs under her breath, and she's like, paint, great."
He's like, think of it as a black cloak for your ship. He says
Great, I can
directly to
match my
Anaka.
fashion with the ship.
Yeah, so the ship can be safe while the scouting party, gesturing to herself, goes and sees if he died.
If you're going to do something like that, I'd recommend taking something small, something that's not going to be detected, like an X-wing or a TIE or an A-wing or something like that.
For the scouting, yeah. Why would I take anything with a kipper?
Bev just shrugs like, I don't know what you have on your ship.
Literally flown the kipper.
Isn't a kipper a tie?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is TIE Defender. She looks at
He
him.
just said not to take a tie.
No. He was saying should take a TIE, like a TIE or an X-wing or an A-wing, like something small that you could repaint with this paint and slip in, shoot off a probe, and get out. It's essentially what he's suggesting.
Yeah. She actually turns back to him and gestures like, "You've literally flown the kipper."
Oh, yeah. Maybe don't take that one. It'd be a shame if that blew up. And it's clear from, his demeanor and everything that he knows you're determined to do this, so he's not going to try to stop you, but he also doesn't see a lot of chance of success in it.
Fine, a probe.
Well, sure, but, still need to fire that from a ship.
Yep. This is not me mad at you.
No, I know.
I just want to be clear, Raven.
No, I know.
Okay.
So this is
Bevan's
decided already?
just like awkwardly
So?
nods and is like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my computer screens.
Muxo, is this decided already?
So here's new plan. Our big ship gets nowhere near the system. I take the Kipper to a reasonable distance that's still rather secret. It's all new paint. And I send a probe off. And then I come back to safety. And no one is ever in any danger, except for Zadu, who very well may be in danger, feeling his life seeping away into the soil of Endor.
I'm sorry, but Kieran leans over, oddly enough, to Anaka, and just whispers under her breath, like quiet enough that Muxo can't hear, and just says, I thought the Jedi were dramatic.
Can Ilsa hear?
You can roll perception if you'd like to overhear it, but she's saying it really quiet, like specifically just so Anaka can hear.
She says that to Anaka, and she can't help it. She just sputters a tiny little laugh, which she tries to like hide in her cloak. She just like turns her mouth into her shoulder and tries to muffle the sound with her cloak.
Ilsa's just going to say she has food to buy and turn around to go.
Okay. Bevan comes back around and sort of claps Muxo on the shoulder and says, well, sounds like you've got your mission, and sounds like you've got a crew that will probably be there to support you when you get back from your mission. And he hands you like a locker key and says it's in, this locker's where the paint is.
Okay, she'll let the key drop into her hand, kind of look up at Bevan and like be apparently like wordless. Like she wants to say something more, but she doesn't, and just closes her hand around the key and walks out.
Okay. Is it pretty obvious that Muxo wants to say something?
It's obvious that it's like emotionally laden and it would probably cross a personal boundary, and it's best if she doesn't. And it's
Okay.
not about him.
Okay. Bevan probably wouldn't pick up on it then. Bevan's not the best at picking up on
She just
social
looks sad and
interactions.
upset. Yeah, so she looks sad and upset.
Okay, yeah. Bevan just reads that as like, oh, you're sad that your friend is, you don't know what happened to your friend. Okay.
or that my friends are arguing with me.
Yeah, he completely oblivious to that. Bevan's really good at like strategy and killing things, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
He's literally literally a copy of the Boba Fett that you see in The Mandalorian.
Right.
Like, that's his skill set. That's his sort of demeanor. Maybe a little bit friendlier.
The rest of the crew is not that much more emotionally intelligent. So,
That's
like,
fair.
good match.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where he's at. And so he just assumes that you're sad about Zadu and sends you on your way.
Yeah.
Utini gives you a nod as you leave. And Kieran is almost out the door and then stops and snaps her fingers like, oh, I was supposed to ask. She looks down at Utini. Like, you're Utini, right? I think they said the small one. And Utini just nods. Like, Jai wanted to know if you have like a U-sized jetpack. And Utini literally does the like head tilt with the helmet. But then shrugs, pulls something out of a pocket, and hands it to Kieran and says, give this to Jai. He'll know what to do with it. And it goes back to his arms crossed, broody behavior, leaning against the wall.
So as
jetpack Ewok.
As Anaka is going to leave the room, she so rude. She walks towards the door, but she looks like she's gonna walk straight into Utini before she gets there, and then she stops very abruptly and sidesteps and go, "Oh yeah, sorry, didn't see you there," and then walks out the door.
Oh no. Oh no, Anaka, you fucked around. What's your reflex defense?
She did ask for this one, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. 24.
Oh yeah, that's not enough. So Utini, you know how Boba Fett has that grappling hook in the gauntlet and the really strong cord. Before you get too close, shoots that at your foot, and it just wraps around. And he just yanks, and you fall on your ass, right in front of him.
So, funnily enough, this happens, and you just hear laughter coming out from under that hood. She stands up, tries to like unhook herself from it, and under her breath, very softly, just says, "Fuck around and find out, I guess."
Yeah, and you don't hear any laughter, but you can see, because like his chest is moving, that Utini is laughing under the helmet as well, and just retracts the grappling hook and motions for you to walk out the door.
Anaka does so in good humor, because she did fuck around and find out. It was her own fault. And you know what? Why be upset about it when you can just laugh it off? So that's exactly what she does, and she leaves.
Yeah. Love that. And yeah, Utini's not upset in the slightest. It's basically good-natured hazing. All right, so you're all able to.
She'll get him next time. Don't worry about it. She'll get him next time. I feel like this is the start of a very small rivalry. And yes, that was a short joke. Get fucked, Utini.
Oh my god. Well, on
My
that
money's on the
note-
Jawa.
He's much higher level than you. On that note, we'll I just realized we haven't taken our break yet. We're over time for that. So we're gonna take our break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Give everybody a chance to stretch their legs, grab some water and whatnot. And then when we come back, we'll pan back over to Jai and Grakus and the shopping that's happening there, and get everybody back together, and we'll find out what happens next. So go hydrate, stretch your legs, grab some snacks, and be back here in 15 minutes. And yeah, we'll get into that. Be right back. All right. Excuse me. We are back. And as I mentioned, we'll have our camera pan back over to Jai and Grakus, who are doing a little shopping, while the rest of the group is at this point heading out to do their own shopping or heading back to the ship. So Jai, you've told Grakus a lot of information about Mandalorians, most of it accurate. What else did the two of you talk about or do?
So I feel like at this point we're deep enough that we're probably like riding on the back of one of those like droid repulsor carts that's got like the R unit in control of it, and it's just like boxes of parts for different things stacked up, and just both like sitting on boxes on the back of it, heading back to the ship, and just like so. That's how you know you've got a really good roast on your Nerf. You got to make sure the seasoning's right. Every Mando I know carries with them a little jar that's from Mandalore. It's the best. He like pulls out a jar of spice, just like, it's what makes Nerf taste the best. This is utter bullshit. This is what his dads used to spice their Nerf, and he just like assumed because no one ever contradicted him.
Okay.
This entire conversation has been like all culture stuff, no like combat, no history, just culture.
Both of Jai's dads were clones, right?
No, his biological father was a clone, and his dads were the ones that adopted him after his biological father and mother died.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking it would be really funny if it was like Fives herbs and spices.
Oh, it might be like from some clone that they knew. Yeah, we've got several floating around in the family, I'm sure.
Like in honor of poor Fives.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. Like Uncle Fives made this blend originally.
Nice.
Jai has a lot of uncles.
Yeah.
About 1 million of them, give or take.
Yep. All right.
Right. Well, as Jai has spoken all that time, Grickus has taken quite extensive notes. Like, he's got a little, I think, data pad that he's recording notes on. And if Jai ever happens to look over his shoulder, there is a full library. And he just has like a tab open that says Mandalorians. And he's been taking pretty diligent notes throughout this entire thing.
I feel like as Jai like winds down on the Nerf seasoning discussion, he just eventually goes, so why do you want to know so much about us? Like, I know we're cool and we have very good taste in armor, but like, what's up?
Gracchus wants to know everything.
Like in general?
Yes, all of it.
So we should get you to like a library.
Knowledge. Much knowledge.
Can I ask you a question, Gracchus?
Absolutely.
What are you?
What is Gracchus?
Yeah. Like Anaka is a oh my gosh, what is Anaka's species? Togruta, yeah. Like Anaka's a Togruta.
Uh-huh.
The rest of us are more or less human. What are you? We had a Twi'lek. We have some droids. Utini's cool. He's a Jawa.
Well, I believe to you, Gracchus would be known as an Ewok.
Oh my god, y'all killed the Empire. Y'all are so cool.
Right. Well,
Oh no. One of my uncles was there. He was like, he talked about y'all had like logs and they like squished things. Very cool.
Yes, Gracchus had a hand in that. It was fun.
Okay. Yeah. Beating the Empire is a lot of fun. We do that a lot.
Yes, beating the Empire was fun.
Like, hey, you want to hear something cool, Gracchus? Gracchus, do you want to hear something cool?
Sure.
We started a war between two Imperial admirals. It was awesome.
Yes, chaos is perhaps fun in its own way.
We just want them to get off of our planet. Whatever's left of our planet.
Your planet being
Mandalore.
Is it still called Mandalore? Sorry. Under Imperial control?
Oh, I think so. I don't think they have any reason to change the name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, then scratch that question. Pretty sure Gracchus could put together Mandalorian and Mandalore being his.
Yeah.
I mean, it being Jai, he pronounces it Mandalore. Like he puts a space in there, like it's spelled, but that's Matt being pedantic about things, not actually useful.
I still just love that the Mandalorians' leader is called Mandalore and their planet is called Mandalore.
And their species is Mandalore. Yeah, look, we have a theme.
Interesting. Displaced from your home.
Yeah. The Imperials got real mad at us. They kind of turned most of it into glass. We're going to get it back, though. We'll fix it. And we'll kick every one of them off.
Gracchus can perhaps relate. Hopefully it goes better for you.
Oh. You lose your place too?
I lost my place in my tribe.
I know how that feels. No, I don't. That's a lie. I don't know how that feels, but it's probably bad, right? I can't imagine that's fun.
Gracchus does kind of giggle, but it's it's sort of how to put this giggle? How to put every aspect of Gracchus's character. It's more of it's a giggle that sort of starts normal and then gets really sinister. Like halfway through, like it sounds normal, then for some reason just takes a sharp dip into being bone chilling.
Jai is appropriately put off by this.
Yes, well, let's just say losing one's place is a certain kind of feeling.
Huh. So why'd you look for us specifically? Like, I mean, I know we're cool. You know we're cool. But like Mandalorians aren't exactly like scholar people. We usually blow things up, not write things down. We've only had like one notable scientist in a few thousand years.
I tracked you down because I found one interesting specimen of a Mandalorian.
Oh?
Yes. Told me to seek you out if I wanted more knowledge, and I have.
Huh. All right. Well, have I answered your questions, or do you have more questions? Like, we're nearly back to the ship. I don't know how long you want to keep talking, but I don't see anybody else back yet, so we got time.
Rakus thinks that this suffices for now. No more questions. Any more questions for Grakus?
If you like blowing up Imperials and you want to do it more while gaining knowledge, I can put you in contact with somebody who can definitely like point you in the right direction to make chaos.
There is no one in this universe that Grakus does not like to see blow up.
You're not ever allowed to meet Locke. Ever.
I was about to say the two of them are going to get along great.
No.
Locke, this word seems familiar.
Hey, he's a murder droid. He wants to kill everyone.
Murder droid.
Yeah.
Such a droid would have many, many uses.
He does. You just gotta point him in the right direction first and really make sure you've got some good boundaries established. He might be really angry right now, though.
For what reason?
Well, I don't know how droids deal with grief.
Grief.
But his previous master's probably dead. We're not sure. It's bad. Mooksa's real mad about it.
Previous master dead. 'Tis unfortunate in this universe, but unsurprising to say the least.
Yeah, things are tough all over. Hey, tell you what, why don't you help me get these boxes inside, and we can get like cookie or something, and you can keep asking me questions while I work on an A-wing.
Sure.
Then when everybody else comes in, you can ask them all sorts of questions.
Grakus is not very strong. Grakus would like to try something interesting. And Grakus will try to start moving boxes with the Force rather than his meager strength.
Yeah, give us a use the Force roll on that one.
But where is it? Where's that?
It should be at the very bottom of your skill list. If it's not there, if you go to the very, very bottom of the character sheet, there's a tiny little option that says Force, Hide, or Show. And if you hit Show, it should pop up.
There it is.
If you don't know it's there, it's very hard to find.
I got it. Yep. Okay. And the Force is based on charisma, actually. Okay. That's fine. I'm not changing anything.
$15. Yeah, you're able to move some small boxes around a little bit.
Yeah. Grakus looks like he's not done this for a while. Feels different than before.
Oh. So are the boxes actually moving? Like, are they going?
Yeah, they move around a little bit. Like, you can lift one and stack it on top of the other, or like push one into a different position or something like that. Whatever you'd like to do.
Oh yeah. I start removing them from the transporter.
Jai's just looking at Grakus do this and just going, "You're not a Jedi, are you?"
Grakus smiles, and it's not the face-splitting smile. It's just sort of a general, like, "Oh, you've got it so wrong." No, Grakus is not a Jedi.
Oh, good. We had enough of dealings with those chumps. You wanted the other flavor? What are they called? The Sith ones, right? That's what it is.
Gracchus is nostalgic.
I've never heard of a nostalgic, but cool. Well, you're not a Jedi, really. Everyone else has been more or less useful to Mandalorians. Sith at least pay us well. And Josh just like grabs a crate and starts carrying it inside.
Love that. I think by this point, everyone's kind of able to be back at the ship together again. Whatever shopping you needed to do, you're able to have had that done. And everyone's sort of able to meet back up. Kieran gives Jai the thing, and it's essentially another locker key. You're able to go retrieve, and it looks like it's probably one of Utini's old jetpacks. But it still works just fine. Just it's really beat up.
Cool. Jai is going to get that out of the locker and just kind of put it on the workbench. It's an ongoing project. We'll see if Gracchus wants it, and if not, Captain Roger can fly around. That'll be fun. One of the two will happen.
Oh, I love that.
That is mostly out of character because at this point we have not established that Gracchus is coming with us yet.
Okay. Once everybody's back at the ship, I'm assuming someone fills Jai in on the plan of what's going to happen.
Yeah. How do you all want to do it? Do you want to just like say it abruptly to Jai, or are you? I don't know. I'm not sure if Anaka is going to just blurt it out, or because she's angry.
Nope. Your plan. It's up to you.
Okay. No, I want to give you the opportunity if you
Gotcha.
wanted it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so Muxo marches up. She's got I don't know how big this probe is. I imagine it's like basketball sized.
It's about the size of like an Imperial probe.
I don't know what that means.
From Empire Strikes Back. The thing with the legs, kind of round.
Doobity-doop.
It's about
Okay,
the size
about the size of a basketball, a baseball.
Oh, bigger.
like a giant beach ball.
Okay, so she doesn't have it under her arm because that's ridiculous. She got a wagon.
Okay.
So
Oh,
she
what's
walks up-
that?
Well, this is the probe that we're going to send to Endor. And by we, I mean I am going to send to Endor. So, Owen doesn't have another job for us right now, but reconnaissance sounds like a good thing, but we need to be really sneaky because there's something scary going on there. There's a third faction. I'll show you
Oh.
later.
I bet we can make them go to war with the other ones. That'll be fun.
He said that Dala had joined up with them or been absorbed into them.
Oh,
And Pell's forces are essentially gone.
well, we did our job. We already got them at war.
Oh no,
Two for
but
one. Go us.
the probe is to go check on Sadu. I will take it in the kipper and launch it and wait for the answer. This is paint. This will help the kipper be more stealth. And you all can hang around from a safe distance, keeping in mind that the kipper has hyperdrive. So this is the plan. I don't know what else we're going to do because we haven't been given a task. I'm sure we can do something else. But while we're doing that something else, I am going to do this.
Okay.
You can participate if you like, but it's not required.
I mean, I got an asshole Saxon to hunt down, so that's top of my list. You know,
Mhm.
we always wanted to go get a bigger ship. We could work on that.
That ship.
No.
All right.
Saxon hunting sounds fun.
We don't want to hunt
You
this
actually,
guy.
you actually do get a smile from Muso on that one, like that ship.
No, Greg, is we don't want to hunt this guy. He's like a Sithy thing that like makes a bunch of space swords fly around with magic. He's not fun. He's an asshole. We don't like him.
Great. Okay, so I'm gonna paint the Kipper
Cool.
while we're on our way back to the neighborhood of Endor. This ship won't go anywhere near Endor. The Kipper will.
Neat. I've got an A-wing to build.
Excellent.
Hey, Anaka, do you like black paint?
That gets a little chuckle from Anaka, and she's like, "Why on earth would you assume that I like black?"
Because I bought a lot of it for that A-wing, and I'm really hoping you like that.
She just rolls her eyes and nods.
Perfect.
We're gonna be painting together. Excellent.
Speaking of Anaka, I forgot to ask you for. You can choose which one you want to roll. Bureaucracy, galactic lore, or tactics.
They're all the same.
I figured.
Yeah. So does it matter which in particular? Is it going to affect anything?
You might get a different flavor on the information, but it'll essentially be the same thing.
Okay. What did you say it was? Oh my goodness! Wow, we both can't say this word, huh?
Right.
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy,
Galactic lore.
or technology. Or not technology, sorry, tactics.
Let's go galactic lore, I guess.
Okay.
Oopsies. I'm getting a lot of 2s today. I think maybe I should switch to physical dice.
You do have 2 advantages if you'd like to use one.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Let me use my Mira dice. Let's see if Mira does me well. Absolutely not. That's an 8.
You know better than that. We've been through this.
Slightly better. So
I believe I have
total?
in my notes something about those dice.
Yeah. Was that an 8 total or 8?
An 8 total. 5? Yeah. No, 8 total.
Yeah, as you're leaving the cantina and walking around and getting back to the ship and stuff, there's this feeling in the back of your mind that's really bugging you. Like, you feel like you know something about those ships that you saw in that transmission, but for the life of you, you can't remember what it was.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
All right. So, you're able to take off with the ship. Is Grakus coming with you, I'm assuming?
Rakus has just walked onto the ship, and he's just chilling. He hasn't said anything really. He hasn't even asked to be on board or to go with you. He's just kind of just chilling next to Jai's station.
Muso sees that, turns to Jai, and says, "Another one?
Another what?
Adoptee."
No, just the 3 ships.
Adoptee.
No, just 3 droids.
He's a droid.
No, he's an Ewok.
Are you adopting him?
I don't think he needs a parent. Hey, Grakus, do you want a dad? Do you need a dad? You seem like you don't need a dad. I'm too young to adopt someone, I think. My dad would probably think I'm being a bit careless.
Grakus looks at Jai and says, no offense, but Grakus is much older than you.
He's got a good point.
Okay, we're gonna take off in about 10 minutes. Are you going or staying?
Grakus, were you coming with us or are you staying here? Do you have more questions? What's happening right now? What's happening right now?
Grakus is, as you would say, hitching a ride.
Oh, okay. He's coming with us.
Did I offer you any cookies yet?
Yes.
Cookies?
Very good.
Yeah, the sweet things that I handed you when we brought in the boxes.
Oh. I thought it was some sort of weapon. So Grakus threw it and it crumbled.
Oh. Do say leave it. I guess in some... If you force-fed a lot of them, you might kill someone with cholesterol, but you'd have to try really hard.
Grakus thinks that suffocation would probably happen before cholesterol death.
See? He's already useful, thinking outside of the box. Oh, he's going to ask you a million questions, so I guess just be prepared for that.
There's no box.
I don't advise thinking outside of the ship without a suit.
He's kind of got space magic, so I don't know. Maybe they can... Anaka, can you live outside a spaceship without a suit? Is that part of your magic?
You hear? Where is Anaka? Where are you?
We're in the whole.
Probably in like the workshop in the vehicle bay.
Oh, you just hear Anaka's voice faintly in the distance calling back, "Yes."
Oh, no, he might be fine.
Oh, great. Okay.
Just don't leave the door open if you do.
Yeah.
Grakus thinks that would be fun, but it would be no fun to be alone in the vacuum of space.
Locke would still be here.
It's big and lonely.
Locke? All right.
No, he's not allowed to meet Locke.
Where is Locke?
Jai like very deliberately takes off his helmet and then just goes.
You let him live on the ship, you think he's not going to be Locke.
I know where Locke is 2% of the time, and usually it's right behind me.
Well, I mean, he's right behind me the rest of it.
As you say where even is Locke, you just hear the tink 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 of Locke's little metal feet walking along the floor into the cargo bay.
Muxa will turn and greet him affectionately.
Yeah, Locke looks up at Muxo's like, "Hello, Master. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but there is a large rodent on the ship. Shall I exterminate it for you?"
Do not kill Duce.
No, not that rodent. The other rodent.
Not yet. We don't know enough about him yet. We want more information.
Grakus, first of all, thinks you are very rude, but also your propensity for murder makes you very fun in the eyes of Grakus. So I shall spare you.
Jai puts his helmet back on and starts walking away and just goes, "I warned you."
Master, it is a talking rodent. Lox is starting to think it is not a rodent at all.
I don't think it is either.
It's not, and don't be rude to our guest.
We're having fun.
Locke is never rude before murder.
I cannot debate that fact. You were very polite to those stormtroopers we killed.
And yeah, Locke just starts walking around like in a circle around Grakus, just examining Grakus.
Careful,
Very
we don't want to murder
curiously.
him yet.
Grakus doesn't look afraid at all. In fact, looks ecstatic looking at all the weapons that Locke has
And the weapon's painted on Locke
at
because he has
their,
all that surface.
disposal.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Oh. Grakus thinks that you and him will get along very well indeed.
Locke just sort of stares at you for a moment. blinks, offset blinks a couple times. And then asks Grakus, how much do you weigh? Locke has an idea.
How much do I weigh?
Yes, how heavy are you?
35 kilograms. 35 kilograms.
Oh, that is light enough.
That's the system that's used in Star Wars.
Close enough, if it's not. So Locke offers to let you ride him. Like piggyback style.
That's
He's big enough.
elementary idea.
Alright, so with that, I think Locke and Grakus start bonding. Kieran's just been sitting in the cargo bay this whole time watching and is kind of giggling to herself watching all of these interactions.
Musa's just a tiny bit jealous.
Is there anything else that you want to do before you take off and start painting your ships and all that jazz?
Elsa's just going to decorate.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. Could I get a perception roll from Ilsa, by the way? It's been a couple of days.
Yeah, just a second at the
No worries.
Yeah, she's been like really quiet through all of this.
Go.
Just kind of, staring at everyone like she's judging them.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, she is Pel's niece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you said perception.
I hate to say it, but I think your uncle's dead.
It's a good possibility.
No, he can't be that. He has to buy her another puppy. But I don't know how good the puppy will get along with Duce.
That is concerned.
So 28 on perception. As you're decorating and
Oh,
tending
wow.
to your plants and whatnot, you notice that the plants that you got have grown a lot over the last couple of days, and that they do seem to have some sort of strange flower-like appendages. Ilsa may or may not have seen something like this, but for the benefit of the audience and the players, they look like little Venus flytraps. And the vines have sort of started to weave themselves into whatever's around them. So, like, if, say, there's something sitting on a dresser or a chest of drawers or something like that, the vine has weaved itself into the handles of it, and things like that. And with a 28, you even notice it like rustles when you walk past it.
If I like move my hand in front of it, does it move?
It does. How close do you get your hand to it?
If it's a Venus flytrap, not too close.
Okay. Yeah, it rustles a little bit as you move your hand, and some of the little trap things kind of snap closed, but it's not close enough to actually like bite your hand. You definitely get the feeling this is a carnivorous plant.
With that, can I
Oh,
sense
yeah.
anything with the force?
Absolutely,
Okay.
you can try to do that with a use the force roll.
Okay. Here it is. Sorry, it's a lot different doing this on a phone than a computer,
No worries at all.
and I can't see the
27.
roll. Oh wow!
So 27. So great roll. Yeah, you sense the life force of these plants, and you actually sense. Oh, sorry. What was that?
Oh no, it's not. I have a plus, so it was a. I just didn't know what the my modifier was for that.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for the raid, Zombie Orpheus. Coming in with a rate of 3, much appreciated. There he goes. So, with a use the force roll of 27, you're actually able to sense thoughts exchanging between all the different plants. Like they're all communicating with one another, and they're all hungry, and it seems to be seeking out food.
Then I'll say, okay, I guess I'll feed you all. I mean, she got regular plant food, but these are carnivorous plants.
Yeah, you get like this sort of like constant like hunger and meat are the two thoughts that it keeps sending to you.
Okay, well, I did just buy a bunch of food, so I will just go towards the kitchen and get some meat to feed my plants.
Okay. Yeah, if you,
anybody else there?
Is anyone else in the living area of the ship?
Yeah, I mean,
John's still in the workshop.
Yeah, Kieran is as well.
Musa would take a break. It's not exactly like cozy for her back there. She's back there to do a job.
Okay.
So she'll take a snack break. We love snacks.
Then yeah, Muxo is around.
Yeah. Stop it. We'll see. Like she's gonna get the meat and cut it up.
What's that? What's
Robbie.
that for? It's a little early for dinner.
It's for my plant.
Oh. I've got some strange plants.
Yeah.
How big are they gonna get?
I don't know. It's growing really fast. It wants meat.
Okay. So let's give it a little time. We'll talk about this again in a couple days. I want you to be happy, but like, there's already a bunch of people around here who just want to murder. Can't feed all their hungers.
No, it's the plant. Come to my room and see it.
I believe you. You said it was growing really fast.
Yeah, I don't. You have to see it.
I will come look.
As you two go into the room, are you bringing the meat with you?
Yes.
Okay, so once you come in the room with the meat, the whole plant is just like rustling gently, and it looks like it's growing at about the rate of like kudzu for anybody that's familiar with that plant in real life. It's a very fast growing vine-like plant.
Yeah, these were cuttings that I just got not that long ago.
That's really fast growing. Let's see the reaction when you give it some meat.
Okay.
Maybe put your gloves on. Your armored gloves.
Is force lifting a possible thing or no with the meat?
Yeah, you could lift it
because I don't want to
the force and try to feed it to them that way.
I don't want to put my hands near the plant.
Yeah, use the force roll. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, as soon as I do this, I have to jump out for like 2 seconds because my child is like running against the wall.
No worries.
What did I get?
A 26. Yeah, you're able to use the force, no issues at all, to lift the meat and feed it to the plant. And the plant eats it. It's almost cartoonish how ravenously this thing just like chomps at the meat and just starts digesting it. And these little clamp Venus flytrap like flowers.
Yeah, these might need to go in the brig at some point.
Elsa looks really, she looks concerned. Like you don't see her emote much. This is concern that you see.
This is your bed, and this is Elsa's bedroom.
Yes.
These need to go in the brig. I worry about you. You know I always worry about you, but these need to go in the brig. You can't sleep with these in the same room.
Unless you're not.
Do you think they want to move?
Toes.
You said they are?
Yeah, they move around a little bit. Just like the vines and stuff, not the root of the plant.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, these should go in the brig.
Will you help? I kind of worried.
Yeah. Okay, go take care of your child.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. So, yeah.
So Par had to run. Looks like a family emergency. Looks like everything should be okay, but they had to run really quick. You just grab a link here to fix the overlay. All right.
I forgot to mute, and I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
So make sure we have our helmets on. Suit up.
Yeah, she doesn't even have her helmet on. She doesn't usually have that one when she's feeding the plant, so it's like...
You should go get your helmet. I like your ears where they are. It's a good place for them.
Now, she spoiled her plants, especially in her room.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, slightly worried and a lot of concern about that.
Yeah. So we're gonna move these plants out into the break.
Okay. There's a little bit of nipping at your hands and things like that, but with the gloves on, everything it doesn't really bother you at all, and you're able to move them into the brig.
Yeah.
And the one that's on the table, because she had put one on the table.
Oh.
Oh yeah, if there are any leftovers on the table or anything like that, they're gone. They've
my
been eaten.
Oh no. I feel okay, when it gets to needing like a cow a day, we can't keep it.
Okay.
You could have your own plant nibbler.
I think next time I get plants, I just need to go to a shop.
That's fair. That's fair. I really appreciate what you've done around here. And these did seem like very appealing cuttings. I appreciate that, but I think this might turn out to be dangerous.
Yeah. Usually a little bit of greenery is good for the overall environment.
Definitely, but not where you're sleeping. I think you should have safe things where you're sleeping.
I didn't plan this.
I know.
All right.
They are
Anaka
cute.
They are. Anaka, was there anything that you wanted to do during all of this as well?
I can't think of anything of importance right off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Does Anaka want a free plant?
I feel like Anaka will see you trying not to get your fingers bitten off by this thing and probably decline, but thank you for offering.
Oh god. All right. Well then, over the next few days, as you're heading back to Indoor, you're able to get the ships painted with no problem. They're all set to go. As far as what happens over the course of those days, Kieran's doing a lot of training with her lightsaber and offers to train with Ilsa and or Anaka too, if they would like.
Interesting. I think Anaka would take her up on it.
Okay. So yeah, what about Ilsa?
She would, after the whole plant incident, she's talking a little bit more than completely judging everybody.
All right. Would she want to train with Kieran and Anaka with lightsaber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well then, what she does is she basically walks the two of you through like just lightsaber forms that she knows and that she's kind of modified to fit her own style. And basically just offering to teach you those. What type of students are Anaka and Ilsa for Kieran?
Anaka's not going to make a nuisance of herself, but she doesn't particularly care for Kieran's Jedi forms. She feels pretty confident in what she's learned with her lightsaber, so she's not a nuisance. She lets Ilsa have a nice learning environment, but it's not necessarily taking for her. She just wants to spar.
Okay. If you would like to spar, could I get 3 lightsaber attack rolls?
It's going to take me a minute to figure this out. I don't have it in my
worries.
attack section. So Ilsa, if you want to go ahead and do some stuff, then you can do that.
Well,
You don't have to spar with Kieran if you don't want to.
well, the thing about Ilsa is she's a really terrible student. So she really does want to learn how to use a lightsaber, but she's not a good student. She will, I think she'll pay attention for like the first couple of minutes and then just
Okay.
try to do her own way
Okay.
and get really upset when she can't.
Well, this is a wisdom-based skill, so let's see how good Kieran is at adapting her teaching style.
Yeah, she's that kind of student. She's
Yeah.
not a good student at all.
Kieran's not a great teacher either. Okay. So you probably pick up some stuff.
The dice really hate me today, and it's a little
do.
frustrating.
I don't
Can
think
I
I've
take my
seen you
advantage
roll.
on that nat one?
No, and here's why. I don't think I've seen you roll above a 10 the entire night, so just have an extra advantage for that nat one. Like, you don't have to
Okay.
use the one that you've got on the board, because that's ridiculous.
Oh,
There you
look!
go.
Finally.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I don't actually think I rolled above a 10 today.
So yeah, Kieran very easily deflects all of your blows without having to give up any ground. Though with your last strike, she does deflect it, but she does have to like move her feet. a little bit to do so. So like you actually, it's like it's like watching people spar and the one person's like not even really trying, and then the person gets in a blow where they actually have to try a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what happens.
But why didn't you teach me to do it like that? You beat her easily.
What's Anaka's reaction to that?
Good question. She shoots Ilsa a look that is not very nice.
Kieran looks over at Ilsa and says, I've been practicing these forms for years, so it just takes a lot of practice. You can get there eventually. Kieran is going to
But you're a
take her
bad
turn.
teacher.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Kieran's like, you're probably not wrong. I never taught anyone before. I'm just trying to help you out. Kieran is going to take her turn on the attacks. What's your reflex defense?
My reflex is 24.
Okay. 1. Oh god. 2. And 3. Okay. So the first one's a nat 20. Yeah, basically 3 attacks, and every time she like disarms you, essentially. Doesn't like literally cut off your arm, but like manages to get the lightsaber out of your hand.
She doesn't give Kieran a pat on the back or anything.
Yeah, I was just curious what the reaction was, if it was, you know, do you go with the Anakin route of I hate you, or are you paying attention to what she's doing, or
yeah, she would be pretty keen to watch Kieran and her movements and stuff like that, and see what she can get from that. But yeah, she doesn't look angry or anything.
Okay.
She just, it's more of an inward of like, I could have done better, but she doesn't say anything.
Okay. Kieran is a very graceful winner. Like she doesn't gloat or anything at all like that. And instead just kind of shows you, like, noticing that you're paying attention, shows you exactly what she did and like how she did that movement and things like that. And it's a relatively decent training session for the two of you. Ilsa probably didn't pick up a whole lot of everything, but you picked up enough to help a little bit. And then Anaka, you were able to also kind of pick up some learning through the sparring. So you both can get +1 to your basically like a +1 proficiency bonus to lightsaber combat. So when you attack with a lightsaber, you get to add +1 now.
So I have a +2 lightsaber, so that would be on top of that, yeah?
Yeah. That's with any lightsaber, you get a +1.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's, just looking at the time, that's probably a good place to start wrapping it up. So the end of this session will have you get close enough to launch the Kipper off, and start that. And we'll pick that up next session with the Kipper flying in, launching the probe, and we'll find out what happens with that mission and what's going on Endor. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I am thrilled with the Sith Ewok on the ship. That's amazing. So yeah, we're gonna go on a raid here. It's so great. But before we do, I want to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. We'll go reverse order from how we started. So real quick, just a quick note to say, go give Par a follow on Twitter at Par Professional. Yeah, he's awesome. I hate that he had to run before the end, but yeah, definitely give him a follow, say hi, and check out his stuff because he's really cool. Then we'll hop over to Hope. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you next? Anything you'd like to share or plug?
Oh boy, favorite part. Well, it had nothing to do with Musa because that was an awful time. Not as a player, but as a character.
Aw.
She had a bad day.
It was a little rough.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, apparently character growth is a thing. I don't know. I don't know.
It is.
We'll see about that. Like, someone should probably be nice to her about this at some point, but you know, it'll be all right. She'll just get more stubborn if they don't. I would say the introduction of I'm going first, so I get to do this. I get to take it. The introduction of Par's new character. That's an easy favorite, obviously.
That was great.
But a secondary. But then that leads to Giant bullshitting his way through Mando lore. And then the plant thing. And also the Utini interactions. One for each of you. There's just this long chain of ridiculous bullshit that happened tonight, and I loved every bit of it. And I am glad that Musa is going to be able to at least accomplish this mission one way or another. And I'm fine. You can find me at HopeJoyce71 on Twitter, and the next place you can see me is here on this very same channel at, is it noon Central? I think it's 2 o'clock here. For Necrobiotic?
Necrobiotic, yeah, it's noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Where we'll be introducing our characters. I'm going to be playing a Technophont named Teddy. He's a big burly guy who's just, a little upset. He doesn't like people very much for reasons that will become apparent. It's gonna be a good time.
Fantastic. All right. And then next we've got. Oh, sorry. Was there anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Matt, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you'd like to share or plug?
Oh boy, my favorite part was Anaka fucking around and then immediately finding out with Utini. That was just a beautiful confluence of events. I loved it. With a good runner-up for I think all of our characters processing grief in different ways. In radically different ways, which was a lot of fun to watch. Just kind of little glimpses into how our people work on this ship. Let's see. You can find me next on my streaming channel, Fifth Draw Live. Not having a stream tomorrow, but I'll be back next week. I usually stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Currently on a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild kick, which is a lot of fun to always go back to that game. And I have a podcast called Hard Reboot, where me and 2 friends take a public domain property and give it a fresh coat of paint. It is just very good, and I do very much enjoy it. Yeah, that's me. I'm working on a couple other things, but nothing that's quite ready to show up yet. So
awesome. Next we've got Nikki. Favorite part, where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or
You guys took all the good parts.
You can have the same favorite part too. That's okay.
But it's more fun to come up with different favorite parts. I liked how this is bad, but I did kind of like how the Anaka and Muxo went head to head. We don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
It was interesting to kind of take her measure. Anaka generally avoids arguing with Muso because there's no point. I feel like.
Yeah, it was neat to see the conflict between the two characters, and it definitely felt very natural for with Muxo being very stubborn about wanting to do this, and Anaka being like, I didn't sign up for that.
And Anaka also being in like a place of power for her, in that like, no, I know this guy. Like, I'm totally comfortable having this argument right here. This is fine. And definitely like putting Muxo back a step by doing that, and like that was interesting, and I liked it.
Yeah, that was good. I'm tomorrow. You can find me next tomorrow on this channel. Doing my first time running a game, and I'm not in too much else. I'm not in nearly enough things right now. So,
so look her up on Twitter.
Yeah,
and invite her to play a game.
I do have a Twitter, don't I?
Nikki's especially looking for an all POC game.
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry, my brain is somewhere else right now.
You're totally
okay.
fine.
I lied. I don't have a brain.
I feel that way a lot. All right. Yeah, definitely come check out the game tomorrow night though. That's gonna be. I'm really excited for that. All right, and then V, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you next? And anything you want to share or plug?
I think in terms of favorite parts, that moment when they were in with Bevan, and going back and forth and getting like a genuine laugh out of Bevan, I thought that was really interesting, especially because we walked into this with Bevan being the one who called Anaka in to join this mission, but they're not very likely friends. A Mando and a Dark Force user was more of like an acquaintance thing, right? So just to have that one moment of just a genuine laugh, like some genuine banter back and forth, and Anaka laughing when Utini tripped her up and things like that. Like she felt in that moment like she could joke a little bit. Like it wasn't an interaction where she had to put up any sort of front. So you know what? She fucked around and found out. She got knocked on her ass. It was her own fault. She knew it was her own fault. She went into that interaction looking to cause trouble, and it found her. So it was all in good fun for her. So just having that little breath for a moment, where we have these two characters who are usually pretty stoic, and Anaka, who doesn't emote very often, and getting like some genuine laughter out of them. I thought it was really sweet. And very interesting. But yeah, I think everybody else touched on favorite parts pretty well. That plant situation is going to be interesting, I feel. We have a weird little Ewok friend now, so that's going to be a laugh, I'm sure.
So let's keep the Ewok friend out of the brig.
I don't know. Maybe we should put the Ewok friend in the brig and see fuck around, find out, see what happens.
I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be okay. As for me, you can find me on my art Twitter, which is at Pepero Draws, and that's Pepero like the candy. I usually post like OCs, some anime pieces. I recently got into Demon Slayer, so I'm working on a few of those characters. Excuse me. There's, sometimes some anime stuff up there, so check that out. And yeah, I will be here on Saturday for the next episode of Animus, which is going to be super interesting because Annie just got her memories back.
Yep.
And I still don't know how I feel, and I still don't know how she feels about the whole thing. Because now suddenly she remembers the crew that she used to have, and how she fit into that crew that used to be. And now she has to reconcile those people with the people who have been her family for the past 6 months. So it's going to be very difficult, very awkward, and I'm super excited to see how that goes. But yeah, that's for me.
All right. My favorite part, I really enjoyed Jai's lightsaber designs. That interaction was really neat, and it was nice to see Kieran break the sort of stoic demeanor that she normally has. And I also enjoyed everything at the cantina. Really enjoyed Muxo misinterpreting the bartender as expecting credits for information, because it makes sense. Like, bartenders at the cantina do that all the time, and this is genuinely was someone who just didn't hear very well. So that like miscommunication I thought was really just interesting. And I love that Muxo ended up getting a brand new straw out of it. That was really fun.
I'm always down for that.
Yeah. And Gracchus is just amazing. I'm very excited to see what trouble Gracchus and Locke get into together. I fully expect Locke to ask Jai to make a saddle for him so Gracchus can ride Locke easier.
I will absolutely do that.
Yeah, I could see that going great. And yeah, it was all fantastic. I'm really excited for next episode because I have some new information to drop on everything that we weren't able to quite get to today. It's going to make things very interesting. So you'll definitely want to check that out next week. Raw garlic would not be my first choice. Yeah. Referring to chat. Where you can find me next, tomorrow at noon Mountain Time, I'll be playing Tilda, or Promethea, as all the characters know her, in Neon Devils 2. This is going to be a lot of fun. I absolutely love the world, and I'm playing one of my favorite OCs in a very different setting, and the cast is amazing. You're going to want to check it out. So that's noon Mountain Time tomorrow, and then at 6 Mountain Time tomorrow, I'll be playing another repeat character, Dick Bellaroo, supernatural private detective on a vacation in a totally normal town where everything's completely normal and nothing bad will happen. Nikki's going to be the GM for that one. It's going to be really fun. Another great cast, and yeah, surreal horror. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that as well. And then Saturday, noon Mountain Time, we've got the premiere of Necrobiotic on the channel. Incredibly psyched for that. Penny for a Tale is going to be our GM for that. They're also the ones running the Kickstarter and everything for the game, which you can... I don't have the link on me at the moment, but if you go to Penny for a Tale on Twitter, the link should be there in their tweets. It's a really cool system. It uses cards instead of dice, like playing cards, and you like build your own deck for your character. It's super interesting. I'm really excited to play that. And then of course 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday is our next episode of Animus. So that's all of that. And then other things to share or plug is sponsors, which I'll throw into chat again. Fundamental RPG, that's what Welcome to Madison, and Animus and Standing Stones all run on this season. It's a D20 system, which obviously you can run everything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between on it. Very cool. You can pick up a copy on Amazon. Just search for Fundamental RPG, or you can pick up a digital copy if you prefer a PDF at coffee.com/raven/shop. Just like it says at the bottom of the screen, add/shop to the end. You can also get free character sheets there as well, downloadable PDF character sheets for free. And then you can check out Intrepid at that same website, coffee.com/raven/shop, for adventuring and tabletop related gear for real life. So drinkware, apparel, things like that, all with a tabletop or adventure kind of theme. I've been using my Intrepid coffee mug today while we've been playing. It's cool stuff. And then finally, Die Hard Dice, which are incredible dice. I use their dice almost exclusively when I need to roll physical dice. They sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set. You can kind of see it looks even better in person than on this camera. It's very pretty layered rainbow polymer dice, and you can pick up your own set at dieharddice.com. And if you use the code BlackFeatherMay, capital B, capital M, all one word, you can get 10% off your order. And then finally, if you'd like to catch up on this show or others that we've had on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network. That's at watch.thefantasy.network. Go to the stream library, look for Black Feather Guild, and that's where all of our content is. Our VODs here on Twitch are subscriber only. So if you're not a subscriber and you want to catch up on those shows, you can do so for free at the Fantasy Network. And generally the episodes will be uploaded within a couple of days of a broadcast. So definitely go check that out. There's a ton of other really great content on the Fantasy Network as well. I highly recommend it. I think that's everything for me. So we're going to go on a raid. We've got our raid cry, which is Grey Cuss wants to know everything. And we're going to go raid. Let me just make sure they're still live. Looks like it. We're going to go raid Vorpal Tales that popped up in my recommended channels. I haven't really watched their channel before, but it looks pretty cool. They're playing a Modiphius game, which I love all of Modiphius' stuff so far that I've tried. Looks like it's Alien, as in like the movie Alien. So yeah, go check it out. Say hi. Toss them a follow if you feel like doing so, and throw the raid cry into chat. And then I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.